Hi, welcome. My name is Neil Hermes and welcome to my weekly bird wrap. This week I've got three great stories. One from the Gobi Desert about dinosaurs and birds, another from Chile, and some birds that have overshot their normal wintering grounds in Borneo and ended up in the Kimberley in northern Australia. Hi, I'm Neil Hermes and welcome to my weekly bird wrap, where my first story today is about fossil dinosaurs and the eggs of fossil dinosaurs and how they resemble modern birds. There's a lot we can learn about modern birds from looking at their ancestors, the dinosaurs, and frequently we find eggs with dinosaur remains. And in the 1920s, they found some dinosaur eggs. The dinosaurs were a species called oviraptors. Ovi means egg. Oviraptors, egg-laying raptors, which were very similar to modern birds. And in some of the eggs, we've discovered some very bird-like features. The way the young dinosaur has been wrapped up inside the egg is just the same as if you had a chicken's egg today and looked at it a day or two before it hatched. It's so that the beak of the bird in a modern chicken can peck at the shell and get out. The dinosaur egg had exactly the same structure. There's a range of other features about how dinosaur eggs are also very much like modern eggs in terms of their shape, etc. But one of the things I've discovered is that dinosaurs seem to sit on their eggs differently to how modern birds did. Where they have found dinosaur eggs in clutches of 30 eggs, they're arranged in a way which wouldn't be the way that a bird would sit on a clutch of eggs. They're in groups rather than in a brood. So there's a lot of things that we can learn about modern birds by looking at dinosaurs. The one that we have a lot of information about is this Chinese dinosaur that's been called Liang, the baby dinosaur from the Gobi Desert. And this bird probably as an adult would have reached the size of a bird today of about the size of an ostrich. So that's a fabulous story that we've had out of a collaborative research project from around the world based on fossil remains found in the Gobi Desert. My second story today is from Chile. And Chile has a wonderful range of different bird species that are resident in Chile, but it also has a range of species that are migrants from North America. There's about 40 species of birds that regularly do the thousands of miles of, thousands of kilometers of migration from North America down through Mexico and right down the South American coast in Chile. And many of these species, like the Hudsonian godwits, terns and others, do this journey every year. And there's been some concern about having conservation areas in Chile that will make sure that these birds can survive in Chile in their wintering grounds before they head back to North America in the other season. So what they've done in Chile is they've come up with a national strategy plan for the preservation of birds. Now, this is the first time a Latin American country has had a program like this. And whilst it doesn't have legislative base, it's a huge first step in Chile for the protection of birds, particularly species that are migrants from North America into Chile. So that's a great start in Chile and a good pattern for many other countries in South America to protect not only their resident birds, but migratory species as well. My last story today is about some migrants. Again, it's about migrants, and this time it's about migrant birds in Asia. A lot of birds migrate from northern Asia down into the islands of Indonesia, like Borneo and Sumatra, etc. Birds like the Narcissus flycatcher, for example, and the Kamchatka warbler, which comes from that strange-looking peninsula of Russia, the Kamchatka Peninsula. And they migrate down into Malaysia and into parts of Indonesia every year. This year, a few of these birds haven't landed in Indonesia, in the rainforests. They've gone on, flown over the Timor Sea and found themselves in the desert, harsh environments of northern Australia. And in one tiny little oasis in a roadside stop near Port Hedland in Western Australia, a few of these birds have found an oasis for the season, and they've been able to survive. One of these Kamchatka warblers, Narcissus flycatcher, birds normally you would have found migrating as far south as Borneo, they're in these roadside stops in the Kimberleys in Northern Australia. Now, these roadside stops are to places where Australians or international visitors on their travels around Australia might stop to have a lunch break or stay overnight. It's very rare for us to be getting these birds coming in to stay for the season from Asia. So it is a way, of course, that many Australians get to see some of these birds that they wouldn't otherwise see unless they were in Asia, and they get to tick them off on their Australian bird lists as well. So with some odd birds turning up in some strange places in the Kimberleys in Australia. That's all I have for you for the bird wrap for this week. Don't forget to look at my other YouTube stories on my YouTube channel. Have a check out my website. Look at the trips I'm organising for later this year and next year. And happy bird watching.